Hello everyone, my name is Shanken Chen. You can also call me Dr. Chen. So as you already watched Unit 2, Episode 1 to 3, today we are moving to Episode 4. So at the Episode 1, I talk about the history of the violin. Second episode, I talk about the construction of the violin. And the third episode, I talk about the violin's bow. In this episode, I would like to introduce some of basic violin's technique. So, as you see, normally when you see a violin player, they have to hold their bow on the left hand side. Then the right hand has to hold the bow. Okay, so violin, the body, and the bow. Okay, and so it comes two ways has to be coordinate each other for both hands. For left hand, as you see at the violin, there is a chin rest for modern violin. Before modern violin, like Baroque violin, there's no any chin rest here. Okay, and for my playing, I need a shoulder rest to let my shoulder to be relaxing. Okay, some of the violin player prefer not to have shoulder rest, so it really depends. Okay, so how do you hold the violins on your? It has to be replaced under your chin at the chin rest. Okay, and then your nose had to be pretty straight from tailpiece to the bridge, and then all the way fingerboard to the scroll has to be straight. Okay, and then different people holding the violin different way. This is just my way. Okay, a lot of people holding a little bit higher. Okay, some of them like country music style, like fiddler, they were holding this way. Okay, so different way to hold the violin. The right bow I already showed you at previous episode how to hold your bow. Okay. And here, I just want to say, for violin or viola or cello, or maybe even double bass, the way they play is very similar. Even though some, like cello, they were holding the instruments between the legs, okay, it's slightly different. But the way you hold the bow or your left hand fingers are very similar. Also very similar in the tuning, especially for violin, viola, and cello. Double bass is slightly different. For tuning, in the violin's family, we all tune in fifths. So that means between each open string means when you're tuning the note, it has to be fifths, 5 degrees between the notes. So like, for example, here, when we counted the notes, we use ABC, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you will back to the A, right? A will be the La, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol will be the G, and then we're back to the A as one scale, okay? So the lowest string on the violin would be the low G, okay, Sol, okay? And then if you count it G, and then up to the 5th degree will be G, A, B, C, and then A, right? So from G, Sol, La, Si, Do, Re, G, A, B, C, D, right? So the next note, the next open string on the violin will be the D, okay? And then count it up again from D to A will be 5, and then A to E will be 5 again. So between the 4 opening strings, we're tuning in fifths in 5 degrees. So let me just play for you. Lower string will be G, and then fifth upper will be the D, and then A, and then E. So Sol, Re, La, Mi. Okay, good. Then next, left hand finger has to be placed on the fingerboard to create the different notes, right? For the violins, typically we don't use thumb to place your fingers, only 4 fingers Okay, so you can call first, second, third, and fourth on the violinist technique, your left hand technique, or index finger, middle finger, ring fingers, and then pinky. Okay, so for example, on the G string, the lowest open strings, the G. Okay, when you place your first finger, your index finger, it will create one note upper than the G. So as we follow alphabetically, G, the next will be the A, back to the A, right? So A will be La, your first finger. Second finger will be one note upper, the B, right? C, and then third finger will be another note upper, Do or C, at alphabetical. And then pinky will be the D, G, the Re, okay? So let me play for you. G, open string. And then first finger, A. And then B, second finger. Third finger, C. And then pinky, the D. So G, A, B, C, D, right? Okay? So this is how we place our fingers, just one note by note, okay? To the other three strings, it's just the same way to place your finger. So for example, on the A strings, open string is A, La. First finger will be which note? B, C, right? And then second finger, Do. And then third finger, D. And then pinky will be the E. Okay? So the same way in the other three strings. Okay, this is all called first position. Violin can, when you going up, there are different positions. It could be up to 8 positions or even more. So first position, you got a D on your pinky at on the G strings. And then once you turn to the other string, open string will be the same notes as your pinky previously. You just have different sound, but it's the same notes, the D. Okay? The same thing on the D string. Your pinky will be the A. And then you change to the A string. The same thing. And then same thing on the A string to the E string. Okay? So etc. Just when you place in a different position, you will get a different note. But just like follow alphabetically, just change to your fingers first, second, third, and fourth. Okay, easy, right? Good. Next, I would like to show you some of the left hand technique. So when I say place down your fingers, it is only one way we produce a solid tone. Okay, there is also one way to play differently to make a harmonic. So harmonic is like you use your left hand's fingertip, only the tip, slightly touching the strings without really pressing down. You will make a harmonic tone and then also create a overtoned note. So for example, here I play a E. This is a solid tone, okay? And then if I only slightly touching the string, I'll create a harmonic tone, which is a upper octave than the original actual note. Actual note, harmonic. Okay, so you can do this on the left hand fingers. Some of them you can use your first finger placed down solidly, and then your fourth finger slightly touching to create a different harmonic. Okay, and the other left hand technique is called double stops. Double, single or double. Double means two, right? Double stops. S-T-O-P-P-S, stops, okay, or double stopping. That means a violin has 4 strings, right? So you can play not only one note instead of one note, but 2 notes together, okay? It can be in the different, like 3rd or 4th or 5th, but plays 2 notes together. That's called double stops. So for example here, this is C and E. And then 2 notes. So as when you hear there are 2 notes together, okay? So that means you place your 2 fingers together, and then your bow, your right hand bow has to play 2 strings together. That's called a double stop. So there's one question here. As we say 2 notes together is called double stop. What about 3 notes together and 4 notes together? Like violin has 4 strings, right? So you can play as much as you play the violin. There are maximum for 4 notes. So 4 notes together at one time. How does that call? Typically, we will say double stops again for 3 notes or 4 notes together. Some of them you can see like triplet or quadruple stops. There's also the same name here, okay? The other left hand technique would be vibrato, V-I-B-R-A-T-O, vibrato. It's an Italian. It came from the vibration or vibrate, okay? So that means your left hand finger has to use your fingers or your arms together to make a wave or vibration for the note. So this is normal without vibrato. The B, and then with vibrato will be. So as you create the more vibration, you're creating more beautiful sound, okay? Then next, let's move to the right hand technique, okay? So as we play the violin, there are different techniques for your right hand. One of typical way to play the stroke or different separated notes, we call it détaché, D-E-T-A-C-H-E, détaché, okay? Normally, we'll use upper half of the bow to play separate notes to create a separate sound. Okay, this is called the détaché. And there is also, if you want to connect every single note within a bow, like successive notes together, it's called legato. So that means you connect every note without any break, or even when you change the bow, it has to be connected. That's called legato. So for example, if I play a scale and I want to connect each of the notes, it has to be legato. If I play separate, okay, and then connect without stopping, right? There's also the other technique is called spiccato, S-P-I-C-C-A-T-O. That means you have to bounce your bow to the air and then make the sound. So fastest spiccato will be, okay, this is the spiccato. And also, if we play a chord, like 4-note chord, this is a chord. If we play the chord separately, that's called arpeggio. So This is called arpeggio. Okay. That's the most of the basic right hand technique. Okay. So I would like to thank you for your attention, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.